Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friday Night at the Crib. I hope you all are having a wonderful coup. And it's not even close to over yet, even though
Hmm.
some of you may hope it is. But today I'm joined from left to right, Father George,
Good evening, everybody.
Senior Daniel,
Hello.
Two Doors,
I like that
and
one
I'm
better than
ready.
science.
Well, I'm not doing it every time. I'm just extra tilted today.
I wonder why.
and this is Hefe. So I guess I guess the most pressing issue for everybody is the raid today. I know a lot of you have probably run into a few bugs along the way and some updates and whatnot. And but I guess we'll start. We'll start with the raid. If anybody has any comments about, and also if anybody'd like to join us, I will post the link again. Feel free to join us. But how's everybody's rate going? And especially anything that's pertaining to, our YouTube community that's watching. Oh my God. Go ahead, George. It sounded like you were going to say something.
I'm trying not to flip tables. I mean, look, I played a little bit yesterday, and I got up to I think like 70 million, right? And I had a couple of weird, odd glitches and stuff, and I wasn't really recording. And then I woke up this morning, and I had a bunch of requests for a video because people had built that, the Phalanx 3 Zealous, and were like, "Hey, I'm dying on the first turret and this and that and da. I'm like, all right, so I'll make a video this morning. So I started making a video, and then I decided I'll make a walkthrough too, because sometimes that's easier to follow than the video, right? Because it'll show you what the thought process is behind it. And then as the as the morning progressed, I kept on getting I was getting a ton of mail about errors, and two of them were the same ones that I had had yesterday, and I thought it was just like I had blown them off last night. And I started looking into that. And man, I've spent more time today doing, the background stuff and passing along info and coordinating stuff than I've played the game. Like I think I've only gotten like 20 million today. And I lost my fleet because one of the glitches that I keep on running into is the turret on the, where the two first turret clusters are, and then there's that third one behind it.
You're
On the
talking
third
about
one
the
behind it, in the 100,
S
yeah, I'm
turret.
sorry, in the 100. Yeah, so there's the two opposing ones that are like a gate, and then there's the third one behind it. There's a rocket turret in the middle that, I come up behind it, I kill the turrets, and then I go forward to kill the outside gate turret. And there's the rocket turret in the front of that has died twice now, and as I go forward, it fires. While it's dead, it fires and completely wipes out my fleet. I was like, oh my god, like I just flipped the hell out. So I haven't touched my. that was like 2 hours ago. I haven't been able to touch my fleet because I'm not coining that shit. I'm just so aggravated right now. So
I mean,
I'm
is it
fairly
more of a
confident I'm not.
is it more of a delay than we see a lot? Is it
Hmm?
more of a delay? Because that happens. It happens a lot. But is it more of a delay than you see normally, or is it because it's so punitive that you know what I mean?
Well,
Because
I'm
you see all these
stopped.
things where like a ship is dead or all that stuff is, and then you move forward and that motherfucker's still firing after it's been dead for half a second.
No, because I'm actually stopped, right? And I actually paused there because I like the arc to hit the rhinos and stuff that are coming in from the bottom, and then I go forward. So the smoke's
Hmm.
actually gone. Like it actually is a dead island. There's nothing going on. There's no
Hmm.
smoke. There's no nothing. I go forward, and the damn thing just fires. And I'm like, you motherfucking son of a bitch. And the first time I was like, oh, maybe I didn't see it. And the second time I had paused because I waited, because at this point I don't want to engage those rhinos at all. And yeah, I was like, son of a bitch. So yeah, I don't, I doubt I'm gonna hit what I wanted to hit in the raid because I needed to get 80 to 90 million a day, and I was close last night, and today I'm not even gonna come close to it.
I think I actually had that happen to me the last raid. The video I posted was showing me completely killing the target. I drive up and a dead turret that I actually used to remote target off of, they'll kill the whole rest of the platform, shoots and kills my whole rest of my fleet, but doesn't touch the tank.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This turret was completely gone, and it was the same one both times. So I don't know if it's just a visual thing. I have no idea what the hell that one is. But the ghost mortar is definitely there. There was a thing with the charged armor that someone came up with a really good video. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. But it actually showed, like, he zoomed in and showed the boat getting hit by an executioner and the charged armor not moving on, not even like an iota. And I was like, okay, that's not good. His health went down. His health went down a lot, but nothing on the charged armor. So yeah, there's all sorts of bugs and crap. I mean, it's crazy.
Sorry.
Man, I must be sleeping on the 83s. Every time I move over to one, it either explodes or somebody jumps on it. I'm on my fourth one now.
That's interesting because I've always found them to be open and also dealing the most damage, which is probably why they're available.
Hefe, have you saw that in the 83, the Apollo comes out every single time now?
Dude, you've got to do something about your mic.
Yeah, you're
Okay, can you hear me better now?
No, you're still like robot or whatever. Like whoever's watching that.
He's not as bad, but we
He's not
sort
as
of
bad, but
you sort of wonder what you had in your mouth, Nines.
Okay, is this any better? I just killed everything internet-wise on my whole computer.
Yes, that's better.
Okay, Hefe, on the 83s, did you notice that the Apollo now comes out every single time now?
I hit one about half an hour ago, and I think I've maybe seen that happen once or twice. I think it's somehow the pattern that you hit them in that causes that.
I've done the same pattern. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say last raid, I had in the hundreds, out of all the hundreds that I hit, I think I seen the Apollo come out twice. In this one, it's about every other one. But an Apollo is spawning that I kill for it to go.
Yes.
Is that you, Nines?
I think that is Nines.
What?
I was about to ask.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement noise.
Heavy breathing.
Okay, stop now. Yeah.
Sorry, I was check.
Yeah, now you're back to robot. Okay. Let's see.
I'm going to kill whoever's on Netflix. But no, I ran probably 20, 30 83s today, and one of them I have got the Apollo, but yesterday I had no problems, did not get the Apollo, same exact route and everything.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something that's not causing it to trigger, but I have had it happen a couple of times, but it hasn't really impacted my game that much.
Well, Daniel showed us last time what it was that spawns that unshrouds it. It's an
Apollo and the
Apollo.
attackers.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I had the Apollo.
I think they just turned the spawn up. That's all.
Yeah, we just don't know what causes that, but yeah, it's happening a lot more frequently.
Yeah,
well,
Cuttlefishes ask if has anybody been hitting the 84s, and have you actually seen a reduction in damage that's been promised by Doom and
give me a cup. Oh, reduction in damage. It said reduction in defenses, which makes it sound like it's easier to kill. I don't know, and I kind of don't mind because I take instant repair on that target anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So maybe once my grid's done refitting, I'll do that and see if that works.
Maybe Visago wasn't quite dead because he's half cyborg, and I always thought that he died in battle. The
Battle Waterloo.
No, what the hell was it? The Base Invaders.
Don't know. But
No, he's mostly dead. See, there's a difference between mostly dead and all dead.
well,
Gotcha.
assassinated, unless she just assassinated his character, and that's always a possibility. You know, never mind. I guess.
Mass hallucination dream is what it's going to end up being.
Okay, is that you again, Nines? Yeah. Okay. All right, Daniel. Well, we can talk. Daniel, do you want to hit a? You want to go through, and I'll screen share you, and hit an 81, 83, and 85, so people can see how you're doing, and we'll just use it as, you know, something for people to watch in the background.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you seem to be having pretty good luck with them, and maybe we can see some examples of the Apollo popping to life and killing everybody.
Yeah, it just happened to me a minute ago.
Okay.
Actually, let me reload.
Okay.
So I don't get a lot of lag.
Okay. Wait, did you move?
Yeah.
Did you move? Okay, I didn't realize. I didn't even notice you moved. Okay. But anything else? Anybody?
Nope.
Okay. Defer to anyone else because I'll take one.
I'm starting my timer now, Ryan.
3, 2, 1.
Well, except for the problem is that we're having Daniel screen share, so I don't know if.
I could give a damn.
Okay.
It's not going to match with the video, but that's that's the breaks. Yeah. So I was out hitting targets, and in an 83, my Zealous was dying or taking half its health and damage from just 183. And then I looked up George's build, and I changed it to the Phalanx 3, and I had to swap out all my monos for RA3 because they made the damage of missiles in this raid just incredibly high. Punitive is a favorite word around these parts, especially when George is involved. But is there something more than that? Can you put like a swear word before punitive? Because I think that's what we're going for. I think we're going for kicks added an extra 0 where there shouldn't have been one. There's so much damage everywhere. The mortars are dealing damage even to a tank with MX3, like significant damage. The damage in everything is tuned up. Even in the A sets, and I hear in the S sets too, and I did some testing. Did some testing in that my grid took 8 executioner shots and a couple of cold snapshots to die, which for a 40 million point tank that took a month to build is terrible. Like this whole, I want to call it worse than the Visago's Punisher now, because
Brian, you're a son of a bitch, because I was trying I had that blocked off in my head, like I thought it didn't exist anymore.
The Punisher or the mono?
No, the gridiron fucking monolith, because man, that thing takes like 4 times the damage that the Zealous tank does, and that pisses me off so bad now.
Yeah, and it makes no sense. Like this is the tank for the monos and her for dirt. No, it's piece of shit. Like the field doesn't matter. I'm not having problems with splash, which I guess is one of the few positive things I have about this raid. I can splash out basically whatever I want now that I changed the mortars out, which is nice, but my defenses haven't gotten any better, and I feel like the damage that Kix has given us is insinuating that our defenses have gotten better, and they haven't.
So I should just scrap out my mono fleet, right?
No, you should scrap your gridiron monolith. It's quicker than it's quicker than the 7 hours it will take you to remove each charged armor that you have on it, which is another problem, but slightly beside the point. And the biggest complaint that I have with all of this is a week ago on Doomworster's post in the forums, he mentioned that primarily we'll be taking explosive damage. We should prioritize for explosive damage. And that's not the case. We're taking far more penetrative damage because after switching out every single boat in my main fleet and my gridiron now is currently undergoing the switch, I've taken significantly less damage in each of the targets, from like a half to a third less damage in the targets after switching out from a balanced damage type to RA, which means that the vast majority of the damage that you're going to take in here is penetrative, not explosive. If I take damage from an explosive, I've made a mistake, or there's a phantom mortar that's cheating and stupid. And apparently there's also a rocket turret that fires when dead, but I haven't done 100 because the tank that you sold me for 40 million and a month's worth of build time dies in 8 shots. Fuck you. No, that is not okay.
Yeah.
And I will go so far as to say that this omission or this error in the post by Doomrooster was intentional. Your autocorrect does not make penetrative into explosive, you fucks. No. That's not something you just, we have the
I used to do that to some people that were I didn't like, that I had access to their computer. But you can, back in the good old days with Microsoft Word, you can make it autocorrect anything into anything
whatever.
else you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could have. And
Yeah,
like
I used to do that. Yeah.
they
Like
mu-
the would become ass, no matter how whenever they put it in. But I'm sorry. I didn't want to. I just
in
said there's a
case-
possibility that somebody might.
so the thesis statement then becomes like the asses statement. Is that what happens?
In case
No,
anybody-
it was only one the by itself. The
Okay.
space the THE space. Then would become ass after they push the space button the second time.
Yep.
I'm sorry, George.
I was just gonna say, I've just gotten like my mail box just blew up. I've gotten about 20 messages going, "Hey, the game's lagging as hell. Don't even try getting on."
Hey,
So it goes
everyone.
from bad to
didn't
worse, man. I don't know what is going on, but holy crap!
And this is the third raid of this cycle. Like, these targets, in principle, stayed the same as last month. Like, there's no new turrets. You didn't change the positioning of anything. You upped the spawn rate of the Apollos, of that I am very sure. But, like, it was okay the way it was. Why did you have to touch it and fuck it up? Like, you did the bad touch to this raid.
So can we start calling Doomers Uncle Touchy?
You can nines, but
Wasn't it JLo that had the music video called The Bad Touch? Or
I
just
have
Bad
no
Touch or something?
clue.
I don't remember. I haven't had much sleep. I'm sorry.
Brian, by the way, you remember where I told you Apollos had Inferno Core? I finally remembered I have Inferno rockets on
is.
my.
There's the Apollo.
Yeah. I finally remembered I had Inferno rockets on my Zelos. So, yeah, they don't have Inferno Core.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, that's right.
And there it goes.
Yep.
Can we talk about the?
And I can come from bottom right, and it'll still set it off no matter what. First fleet out, Apollo in it.
Yeah, I come in at 6, and that still does it. Can I mention something before I forget? Because something else that was mentioned, I guess it might have been on top of the game. The Phoenix, they're saying that the Apollos are good for tier 5s. Tier 5s is the B set. Okay.
Yes.
And so if you need to do tier A's, the next raid, which is the highest target because there is no tier 7, I believe that's the case. Now they're doing the first.
No, tier 7 is the S set.
The S set, yeah, they're doing the first raid of the cycle without the S sets.
They've already said
no,
July will have an S set.
Oh, they've
Yeah.
already said that. Okay.
Well, they didn't say it, but they said that preview that was that we did videos and streamed of was the July S set. I think. Is
July
what they
S
said.
set. Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Okay, I guess the point still stands then. So you can do B sets with Apollos, but you can't do A sets in theory with Apollos, and S sets are just right out of the question. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, but see now this is the thing that I'm wondering, because I was looking at the build times for these things, and there is no way you're going to get 4 of them out to do the S sets, right? Unless you coin.
Yeah.
I think I'm a day shy of getting 4 blanks out for VXP.
And this was
and I had all my
intentional.
tokens.
This was
You know,
intentional.
I had all my my tokens saved and stuff. So, I think maybe that the A set's going to be one that's going to be able to be done with 2 or 3 of the Phoenixes. That's my guess.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 3 Phoenix blanks out for VXP and possibly a Justice blank.
And you're gonna do what with the Justice blank in the raid?
You're gonna have 4 out and a Justice blank for VXP?
No, 3 and a Justice.
How are you gonna pull that
Because
off?
I know they're.
How are you gonna pull that off? The Justice is even longer of a build than the
I said
than the Phoenix.
the Justice is going to be if we possibly get a token or 2 in tier 4.
No.
I'm not gonna hold my breath.
No, we're not.
I'm not. I don't think so.
They've
I may just say screw it.
They've blocked that with a bunch of garbage prizes. They'll probably release a Generalist missile just after the raid, just so that we don't get one. Well, okay, maybe not just so that we don't get one. They'll give us extra Generalist prizes so that we don't get one. It's nice that they'd be giving it before the first raid of the next cycle, but I don't think we're getting a 2-day in tier 4.
If they do that, I'm almost thinking of skipping the cannon for the Justice and grabbing all those Empyrean tokens so I can be ready for a refit.
But you think the Empyrean is going to be the way to go? Because at this point, are you suggesting there's going to be a special that's going to allow you to remote target missiles?
Either that or there's somehow going to have to put out a Generalist for this raid.
Well, it hasn't come out yet. So, I mean, maybe there's going to be some special that allows Generalists to remote target missiles. Who knows? It would be interesting. It'd be nice if they told us that beforehand, if that's the case.
Rip whip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but other than that, I mean, when I was actually able to play the raid yesterday, it was pretty good, except for the odd glitch and stuff that annoyed the hell out of me.
I got severe lag most of yesterday. Congratulations on your lag avoidance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there was lag, but the thing is, I'm used to the 100 enough that I know where to stop when I'm lagging, and then I just creep up a little bit at a time, and I take a little bit more damage, but 2-3 minutes extra compared to 15 hours is a little bit different. So I don't know. It's I hope they sort it. I hope they sort it real quick.
I've got one more bullseye crew that I got to run through 100, and then I'm back to grinding A sets again.
Yeah, something I do want to mention to everyone to keep in mind too. They gave a bunch of people those 1-hour repair tokens, right?
Yeah.
Never got them.
Hold on to them if you got them. Yeah, hold on to them if you get them, because they'll be worth much more during VXP weekend than they are during the raid. Just saying.
Yeah, I can't believe they went through all that effort to give us one.
I got more than one. I think I got 3 or 5 of them.
Yeah, I only got one.
I don't remember how many I got. I saved mine from daily chests.
Yeah,
Maybe they gave me 9s.
Huh?
I said maybe they gave me yours.
I would say
Yeah, it's a
so
good possibility.
because I used
I would recommend that they do that again.
Yeah.
I used my 3 from the daily chest right before the raid to fix something, and then I have not had a single one since then.
Well, Paul got 5.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
And I know someone that got 250 coins for a lag ticket. I'll say the both thanks. Screw you both.
Yeah, I saw that guy get the 250 gold, but he also is a whale, so that's like Daniel putting one in and me putting one in. He'll get 250 and I'll get like 2.
I only get like 30. Or 30 or 40.
Sure. Like,
no, I'm serious. I only get like 30 or 40 every time I do.
what's bad is I saw some of the bigger players I know that are whales only getting 40 to 50.
Yeah.
No, I think it depends on who you run into at the.
And how you word it, probably. But
I haven't
Yeah.
tried. I haven't tried the 100 with the monolith fleet. I want to try it.
And I would suggest for everybody that files a ticket, they love all caps.
Oh, it's just like the forums.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of curious. Like I was doing the blanks of the Phoenixes, right? And I'm looking at it, and
Give me a minute. I'm gonna reload.
I'm kind of worried about building these things because every time that I've found a good build in the preview, right, it's countered or something's changed so it doesn't work, and I'm like, I'm so leery about building these things with no information now.
Yeah,
You
and I'm
know?
a little
Don't
leery.
post it.
Even with information, it's just,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no.
even with information.
Yeah,
They also charged armors.
yeah, I'm also a little bit leery with the. If you think about it, as far as the, people have been putting these builds together. They're about 19 to 20 days per ship, and I'm just curious what the role of the Spitfire, whatever it is, what is it?
The
The Skyfire
Spitfire
carrier?
UAV. Oh, Skyfire.
Skyfire carrier.
Skyfire carrier, yeah. What the role of that's going to be and how many tokens we get for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it's basically you can get 2 done, right? For 2 to maybe 3.
If they give out
So
enough
yeah,
for 2 or
for the
3,
next,
I
the
might
next
get a
week.
little bit mad because we didn't even get enough tokens to get more than 3 Phoenix out.
Yeah, like they have shorted us about 5 days worth of tokens intentionally. Like again, you can't you know what tokens you gave out and when, and we've reminded them and we've told them enough. So that's the difference of a shell being with a shell and a missile versus not. So yeah, they're just hosing.
I'm building them with Thud 1s right now, and then going to refit them to either, if I have time, to the actual missile or to Harriers for a little while.
I wouldn't even
We have
bother
a question.
wasting that.
We have a question in chat. What is there a good? Is there well? The question is, what is a good target for icebreakers? Is there a good complete target?
If you got
Complete ignorance.
go ahead.
the 100.
If you got
Yeah, I was
coins,
gonna say-
100.
See, the problem is I have a friend of mine that actually said his damage has gone up significantly today with his icebreaker in the 100.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say the damage has gone up significantly. Some point late last night, early today.
Which is
For the
terrifying because it was bad enough before.
Yep.
But
Uh,
I was concerned when they raised that the SSET payout to 6 million.
I think
I was scared.
It's this platform right here that's really damaging.
Which one?
This one right here.
That is one that has a high incidence of the ghost mortar, FYI. That one and the other bottom one. Well, that one and the one on the very, very bottom.
And I think you might have got tagged by one.
Yeah, well, I mean the back line has charged armor, so it's not a big deal.
Oh, that's right. I have an interesting theory about charged armors and the necessity of such.
Do I need my
They're
roll
unshrouded
some
though.
foil?
No, not really.
Yeah,
It's
And not really unshrouded. You can't shoot them. That's happened to me a couple of times too. But that one, I was just like, it's a visual thing. I'm not really. That one doesn't bother me near as much as losing my fleet to a dead turret.
okay.
You know.
I haven't
So
seen that one. Well, that's probably because I usually do this target with icebreakers.
So recharged armors. The the damage on these is incredibly high. Like I tried to estimate the blueprint damage for a single salvo of the executioner missile, and I estimate it to be at the low end of 160,000 per missile, because fuck you, that's what apparently. And a fun side tangent afterwards, but with such high damage, because the charged pool takes the damage off first before anything else, you lose 1,000 damage off the 160,000 before you even get to resistances. Because it applies first and the damage is so high, that means that it doesn't really matter as much as you might think. It's more the resistance number. That's the important part. And while, yes, these armors do give resistances and do give 20 deflection of each type in line with the D5 armors, it's the resistance that really matters, not so much the charged pool. So what I'm thinking is changing for this high damage, like the only good I think that can come from it is that in making resistances necessary to be the resistance is very high, the D5 X gains value again, whereas before it would just be completely negated by the old charged armor. The new charged armor adding resist, well, you can get that with D5. The problem is the weight and the armor and repair time. It might dilute a repair efficiency, which is a bit of a shame. Also,
I want to point out, I just want to give credit to Mary because he's the one that actually posted that video that I was referencing earlier. So,
I have a question for you guys. If
we all
if
hate
they
you,
came
it's
out-
true.
kiss my ass, Grandpa. So if they came out after this raid, it said we're redoing weight, time, and everything on all armors, including charged armors, would you guys be pissed?
Say that again because I missed half of that.
Yeah, you still got something in your mouth. Nice. Say it one more time.
I said if they came out after this raid, say right before VXP weekend, and said, "Hey, we're taking a look again at armors, reducing weight, reducing build time," would you guys be pissed? Because I know you
First
got.
off, what world? First off, what world do you live in? And second off, of course not. Who the hell would be pissed about that? They're gonna reduce
Well, I know.
build
Depends,
time?
like,
I mean, fuck.
I know.
If they reduce weight and build time, that's one thing. It's not what they did last time. They completely revamped it and changed it into a different armor, and that's why people got pissed off, because all the things they put on that were complementary to that were changed.
The reason I was asking about pissed is, for example, George, you've pretty much spent your whole month redoing armors and everything like that on your fleets, right?
I have spent a lot of time refitting to different ideas, and some were for testing, yes.
Well, the reason I was wondering is if they had cut it in before the raid, the reason I would be pissed is they were basically holding it back. If they did do it.
That would be an assumption on your part. I mean, they you know, it's a company. I mean, they might have stuff on their calendar to do that, you know, hey, they know about it from now, you know, 6 months ahead, and they release it in 6 months. You can be like, oh, well, they were holding it back. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn, that sucks. I hate that thing in the middle.
I mean, would people get pissed off on Monday if they have the price of all the charged armors and all the people that bought them beforehand are screwed? That would upset some people.
That one would upset some people.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
But that's because there's a change to the value or the perceived value that we've had to the armors, right?
Yeah, but it would also make a lot of people happy. So, you know.
Yeah.
And would actually probably make them more appropriate for their cost.
Hey, we were all complaining about 10 mil. What about 12 mil?
Yeah.
12 mil, I'm hoping that I can survive without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not happy with the armor cost. I mean, I really was advocating it dropping down a lot more, like significantly. And instead they, that went to 12. And I mean, I understand that, yeah, we're getting more points per target, so it's less, it's less A sets this time than last time,
Well,
the last
uh,
raid series.
But we're according to a lot of
But-
people, we're also taking more damage per set.
But also, those limited armors in those other raid sets were like 1 million. Top limited prizes in those things were 5 million. We're not getting double the points.
I'm comparing it to when the M's and the X's first came out. I'm comparing charged armor.
But they dropped the prices for those, and now that they've increased it, the cost again, they haven't added points onto the A sets.
No, but
I'm saying that
the last Cannoneer raid, we had lower points for the A sets than we have in every raid of this cycle. So that's what he means.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I pay attention.
Yeah, but the A sets were the Cannoneer raids. Those were faster, and I thought they were faster to do at least.
And generally,
they were
less bullshit with less game-breaking glitches. Yeah, they were.
Well, unless you count, what was it, the 75 where the wall popped up and instant lagged you out. But yeah.
Yeah, and you could do the S sets in that one easier. The S sets were much easier in the last Cannoneer raid than they were in.
Well, you could do them for no damage in the last raid, where you absolutely cannot do it for no damage in this one.
Yeah, so it's a little bit apples and oranges in my mind. Bananas and plantains.
Yeah, oh, good grief. Oh my goodness. Anyway.
Yeah, that was a
Bananas and
horrible run.
plantains.
So I'm just concerned with to revisit something I mentioned earlier. If you can't do A sets with the Phoenixes and you can't get the Phoenix now, how do you get the Phoenix? Do you just grind the B sets for forever?
You mean Apollos? If you can't get the Phoenix now and you only have Apollos, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, sorry, do you just
Phoenix
grind?
Phoenix.
Sorry, I don't. Look, what day is it? Yeah, if all you've got is Apollos,
it's
do
upset.
you just like grind B sets forever?
I guess. I mean, and if that's the case, then they kind of have to get rid of that whole, if you hit level 80, you don't get as many points. I mean, I just don't like that anymore.
Well, because when we were
how
first
many tokens
sold
are we
this-
gonna get for the Skyfire carrier?
Oh gosh.
I just hope the build time is low.
Yeah, like that.
I
should be,
just want the UAV to work, man. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I mean, shit.
To be fair, that is the bar. If the weapon meant for this hull doesn't work, then like no other UAVs are going to work, because what tier even are those garbage UAVs? Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, just like when we were initially told, oh yeah, you're paying a premium price to get the hull a month early and you're going to be able to do well next raid. And if you could actually get your hull race built and didn't get a repair glitch like I did, and were completely unable to build or refit any of them. But anyway, that bonus, that should be a bonus for the people that spend the time or money to get the prize ahead of time and start building it. Like, you should be rewarded for the extra preparation that you do because you are skilled at the current raid cycle. And now it sounds like they're making that a necessity, and not even just to do the top target. If you said S sets are Phoenix only, basically, but the A sets you could do with Apollos, I think that would be okay. But if you were to take away the ability for Apollo owners to do A sets in any meaningful fashion, that's really bad. And you have to like change the damage too, because they keep changing the rules on what's locked behind what now. If I get the Justice, can I get the friggin' missile? because they said everything was behind the Phoenix, and then they said that everything was behind the Justice, and then they turned to lock off, and then they turned to lock on.
Well, it's a
Requirements for the
progressive-
Justice.
Yeah, it's like the special and weapon are behind progressive locks.
Uh,
So if you got the Phoenix yesterday and didn't get the weapon and special, you can't get them today until you unlock the Justice.
okay, but you need. Okay, so the locks, I feel like they changed from when it was posted, like the briefing. You need the Justice to get. You can get
The
Justice
Phoenix.
then Missile, or Justice then Special. I
Only
think
if
how
you
it was
get
in.
the Phoenix.
Oh, so you need Justice then Phoenix, then Weapon or Special.
That's the way that it had read. Yeah, I mean I haven't tried it.
Yeah, that's not how
But
it's showing in game right now. I have the Talon Missile open on my screen and it says requirements Justice. It says nothing about requiring the Phoenix.
Did you already claim the Phoenix?
Nope.
Oh, maybe they changed it because of the special.
I don't know. I feel like it was a weird, like I understand why they did it, buy now and get 25% off, because if you can work your way through this lag fest and glitch fest and your fleet's dying to phantom rockets and phantom orders, you fucking earned it. Good on ya. Have a Phoenix. And then they gave us like random gluttony and whatever the heck else they did now.
Gluttony, sloth, and all the stuff with it. Though
Where's
don't
the
think they gave the-
D30R?
exactly.
It is Dractech. It is Dractech.
Where's the lockdown rockets? That's what I would want to know.
Yeah, lockdown rockets, D30R. I mean, I don't know who decides some of the stuff that goes in there, but there definitely could be some better choices given what's being used in game a lot. Because I know I keep on like every single tank that I've built in the last year plus has used that D30R, and it's not been available in at least over a year. I mean, since that first Punisher I built, came out and
I don't.
I've
been playing for almost 3 years.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that they could add. Although I will say, if they let us have some tokens and get these Phoenixes out, I'm gonna be semi-happy, because that was a fun ship to drive. It was a very fun ship to drive. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And if Kix is listening, don't mess with the target. Everything was perfectly balanced. Just leave it the hell alone.
Yeah, like you have just proven in this raid that even if you try to mess with things, even if you leave the composition the same, you will screw it up. So hands off. I'd feel bad if it wasn't actually true.
I said it the other day. I am impressed that it's this early. They have everything. Like it felt very, very well balanced. If you messed up, you would get damage. If you didn't mess up, you still got damage, just not as much. And it was sort of fun to drive. I mean, I can see you getting tired after the first day of the kiting everything, but
But that's the case with everything.
Yeah, I mean, just
Like
leave it alone.
It's Friday and I already want to puke.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'm getting rid of 6 bullseyes, so I don't have to play this raid as much.
Why would you waste bullseyes on this?
6 bullseyes.
I mean, when else are you gonna?
Because I can do 4 to 5, depending on how I drive, 4 to 5 hundreds with my Empyrean and Zelos fleet.
Should have built monos.
Hey George,
monos.
how's that gridiron going for you?
It's fine. It's sitting in my dock, warming the dock up for everybody.
Note he did
my
not.
Zealous works fine.
Yeah, note he did not say should have built the gridiron mono, because no one should have built the gridiron mono, but we all did.
I mean, look, it's honestly, if I take my gridiron mono out, I've gotten it down to, I think, like 30 minutes on the 100. Okay. The problem is I just don't like it. I know that it should perform better. So every time I use it, it annoys me, Can I do well with it? Sure. Can I do as good as I do with the Zealous? No. But the Zealous is built around essentially exploiting the mechanics of the Zealous. Okay? So is it a fair comparison? I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't run a regular Zealous build against it to find out because, you know, I don't.
Because you will die.
Why waste my time? No, I mean, why waste my time? I mean, I know that this one works. I'm not going to refit it just to test that out. But I mean, it's not like the Gridiron's like absolutely fucking worthless. It works, just not as well as the Zealous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even to get it to your build, by the way, thank you again, George. No, it took me
which
all
build
9
are we
days.
talking about?
The Phalanx
1, 2,
Zealous.
3, or 4.
What do you mean 1, 2, 3, or 4? The Zealous?
Phalanx-
There's only been one
build.
Zealous build.
Oh,
Phalanx,
I thought you were talking
Phalanx
mono
3 is
build.
no. Yeah, but it took all 9 days of my refit tokens, and then I spent refit tokens for the monos that I had left over on the campaign. I have spent 13 days worth of refit tokens to be able to do the raid for a level of damage that I would deem like not, well, sort of acceptable now, but necessary for someone who wants to spend a lot of seat time to get all the prizes. Like, I have 4 charged armors and the new stuff on the ship build tokens. That's really about as light of a prize list as you could expect to get away with at this point in time if you want to be able to do well in July. And that's still like 35 million a day. And for me to get 35 million the other day was 5 hours at my computer playing this game. And that was with spending repair tokens after lag killed my fleet, after phantom mortars hitting my back line, after admittedly mistakes on my part, but just to do that every single day, like I have a job.
That's why I drive lazy. I mean, I stack my shit and drive lazy as fuck, and I'm still pulling off like
Brian,
17
your job is
minutes.
to be a pirate.
Huh?
What?
I said, Brian, your job is to be a pirate.
I wish. Maybe then I could get some booty.
Maybe. And not go to those
And a
that
tan.
prom.
The Rainbow
No,
Festival.
I'm pretty sure you could get some booty there too.
Yeah.
If you wanted.
Yeah. That's always a distinct possibility.
Oh, boy.
You might even be able to go dressed as a pirate and get some booty there. Who knows?
Yeah.
You'll never know until you go, so why not?
Hefe, where's your eye patch?
that
Go
way-
test it for us.
Is that why
Yeah.
why you went, Brian?
No.
He wasn't dressed as a
Yeah,
pirate.
he walked into that one.
We need to see Brian in a pirate's outfit.
Next
Like a
April
wizard.
1st. Yeah. I put on my wizard hat and cape.
Put on my robe and wizard hat.
There it is. That's what it was.
That's what he's been hiding in the closet on the right.
No, that's a Blood Ninja fucking reference. For God's sakes, Nines. We have to teach that boy everything.
Yeah.
Not 9 is why we can't have nice things.
Sorry, it was before my
It's not.
time.
No, clearly it's not George for some reason. It's 9.
Oh, man. Nines, did you know the Leroy Jenkins reference at least?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Thank God. Actually, you had to because I posted that for you before. That's right. Never mind.
He passed memes like 101. He passed remedial memes.
We should actually find that and show everybody what the Leroy Jenkins reference is.
Are you talking about like the short film one? Because I mean I like the original, but I like the short film one too.
The actual game one where he actually the first time that the guy actually did it and ran in.
I've already got the video pulled up for you. Give me 2 seconds.
There you go.
Are we actually doing this?
Of course.
I won't be able to put it across. But there you go.
We're doers.
Yes,
we are.
Leroy Jenkins.
Check to the side.
No, I've seen it. Bro, who do you think you're talking to?
I know. Yep, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, but you have to
He
show the
started-
audience for the reference.
Well, that's FA.
Well, you can screen share it. You can't screen. You can screen share Nines, can't you?
It'll be freeze frame, remember?
Hold on, let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, so to all of our watchers, you get to see Leroy Jenkins now.
Yeah, unfortunately, you
I-
can't hear it, which is the bad part.
And FA, you guys get now what? Endorsements for beer ads and videos, right?
Yeah. You have to crank your volume. There you go. Crank your volume all the way up. I don't think anybody else can hear it.
No?
I can't hear
No.
it. Can anybody else?
Damn it.
No, but that's okay.
I think you need to crank your main volume, which may set your earphones on fire.
I got the main volume. I had it cranked all the way up, but
Okay.
it's because the head.
You got to have
headset that I'm
speakers to do
using. Yeah.
Yeah.
it. FA, can you do it?
I can't hear you guys when I have that cranked up, though.
Let's see. Which one can I share on?
All right, so you want me to stop this? That way you can find it.
Well, I can find it. I'm just trying to. Some of the screens, I have things shown on more than one screen.
Well, close the porn down, and then you can,
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Let's see if I hear it. But you were able to hear it, correct?
I could hear it, but you guys couldn't hear it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, whatever you're doing, I can kind of hear it. Not loud enough, but
Come on.
You can't hear it, or you can't?
I can kind of hear it. Yeah, it's really, really low.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll skip this. Do it.
We'll
at a
get it.
different
We'll get
time.
it set up for. Yeah, we'll do it a different time. But
Yeah.
yeah, you just hear the guy scream, Leroy Jenkins. It's great.
Yes.
It's great. It's
But it's been around
fantastic.
for a while. Yes.
Yeah, many years, many moons. I actually have a fleet that's called Leroy Jenkins.
Let's see. So, Raptor, are you going to come on and share the slides? He said he was. I don't see him on the show, though.
Yeah, he had said something in chat earlier.
Yeah. I told him if he wanted to share him, he could come on, but.
But so, once I'm hoping. I know that they're looking. I know Kickside is looking at the issues that we brought up tonight.
Okay.
I'm hoping, somebody finds something and fixes something, because that would make the rest of my weekend pretty good, because I kind of do need to get some points.
Yeah. And as far as recommendations go, despite not, I know Nines is building, and Nine and Daniel are. What happened to Daniel? Okay.
He dropped. Yeah, he dropped for something.
He dropped.
Yeah. Both of them are building their Justice right now, which is what it's almost a 6.5 day blank.
It's
Priorities, baby.
7-12 with no officer.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, priorities. I'm getting ready for next raid. I'm not.
Yeah. I would recommend for
I'm
people
playing-
not to do that. I would recommend that people wait and even leave their shipyard empty until you get the Phoenix
Yes.
and get as many as you can out before VXP weekend and
Which is
deal with the
probably me.
Justice. Yeah.
I'm not building a Justice yet. I'm getting at least 3 out, and them at least get a couple missiles on, and then decide if I want a Justice or not.
Yeah, you're not gonna have time for that. But so the recommendation, even though you're gonna have the Justice and maybe a day or two to build it, it's gonna be you're gonna have 4 days where you're gonna be building that Justice. I would potentially, I'm not saying waste it. I'm sure you can find something to upgrade your gluttonies or what's already in
Tweak
your
something.
base.
Yeah.
Tweak something during that downtime, as opposed to going ahead and getting the Justice out right away, because it's a long build for a blank hull, and you're going to want to get those Phoenixes out there faster than you're going to want to get the Justice out there for the next raid cycle and get them into JXP weekend, because you could even do the Justice later because it doesn't need the VXP as much as your Phoenixes are going to.
Yeah, and the thing is too, and just from what we saw in the preview, right? I mean, most everyone else that was in there was running a 5-ship fleet, and even with just running 4, I got pretty good. I mean, I got really good repair times, given that I was only running 4 compared to their 5, and they were all running charged armors, and I was not. So, you might be able to pull off an S target with 3 with a little bit more damage, but I'm pretty sure that with 2 or 3, you're going to be able to at least do part of the A set to find something that you can grind with them. I mean, it's the combination it's very powerful, very quick haul. It's really fun. So yeah, I would, if you can get it, I would definitely get it and build the damn thing. And maybe Kixai's gonna look at it and go, oh yeah, you know what? Since we cut it down to 5 days instead of 10 for the store raid, they might throw us a bone in the FM and get us a token somewhere. You never know. I can always hope.
Yeah, I mean, it does sort of make sense that they might be doing a monthly calculation, and that's why we have so few at this point. Maybe we're not going to get a Generalist missile, or maybe more Generalist rockets, because everybody's using those.
All I can hope from this FM, since we're talking about it, is nothing like the Muddle missile comes out in this FM.
Yeah, okay, because that happens every month.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where that left field, man. Come on.
Hey, Raptor, how you doing, sir?
What's up?
How's
Canada?
Have they built that wall yet? I've been asking them to build that wall.
Oh, I built a wall.
I just saw Caesar has posted a video of the 100 being done with a Tide and Citadels. So FYI, there are options out there, guys. I mean,
wow.
Yes, David's suggesting Transport System 4. Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, people were. I remember all those people.
Is it like map speed and cargo space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all these people, yeah, exactly. That's why it's a good reference, especially because all those people were bitching about Transport System 3 on the forums hasn't been released in 22 months, and they wanted it released in the raid, but
because
not.
Oh, I missed that. Really?
No, that was
useful,
hilarious. They had a specific build for it, and I was like, "What the fuck are they gonna do with it besides
Oh my
cargo?"
God.
Screw your D30R.
Yeah. That's what made all the mods probably also so salty, with all those people asking for that for months.
Oh, real quick. So there's the thing tool, kind of like Huggies, and there's the build hash codes. I know they mentioned that, and a lot of the members of the community, like, we know that there were talks and such with Huggy to make this thing, and I'm a little sad that in their post announcing this, that Kix didn't give him like some credit. Maybe he asked to not be included, and if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. Just that, I don't like that, because I'm still in academia and my plagiarism senses are still tingling. Like, I know it isn't actually plagiarism, but it feels like he should have been given.
He might have been
more
otherwise
credit
compensated, but
than
that
he
wasn't
was.
made public.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean,
Because they could have the, maybe they'll have the Huggies Phoenix out next month.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Or they asked, whether or not they wanted to keep it public or whatever after he had already posted stuff. So I mean, we don't know what happened. So I'm not going to jump.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I again, if he asked if there was an agreement, then that's fine. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, we don't know.
Agreement.
Yeah, we don't know. Just saying, there's a possibility that something else, you know.
Yeah, and I hope he did get compensated for that because Huggy's been doing great work for years.
Yep. The Huggies Phoenix.
The Huggies
See you
Phoenix.
next month. Yep.
Yeah,
Hefe,
and that's
Hefe Skyfire is soon to follow.
Oh, is that what it's going to be? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or the
That'd be
super
interesting.
celeb.
That's not gonna happen until you get unbanned from the forums.
Okay, so we're not going to see a super celeb.
Trying to
Phoenix
copy
either.
Hefe, huh?
No.
no, it's
There's
the
not gonna
super
be any-
celeb Skyfire carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
No, that's not happening either.
SCSFC.
You are never gonna let that
Yeah.
die, are you? Oh my god.
Actually, I do wonder though, like what they're gonna make for the Generalist hull class for this coming raid cycle. Like, are they gonna make a new flagship like the MX Prime? Are they gonna make just like a heavy missile? I mean, obviously we don't know at this point, but I think it's fun to wonder.
Yeah.
They could do that, or they could do something like they did with the Squall launcher and make a missile that fits onto the Zealous that does like X amount of, boosts whatever the hell it needs for this raid.
Please make it more like the Quake Cannon and less like the Squall launcher.
Hopefully.
The Quake Cannon worked.
Yeah. I mean, or the thing I brought up earlier was
I can see a flag coming out.
something that would allow the Imperians to get remote targeting.
Yeah.
Why am I on present? Why am I presenting to everyone?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you not turn it off after that whole?
The Leroy
Leroy
Jenkins thing.
Jenkins.
'Cause that's all I could
thought
think
it took
of.
you off after that, but okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, actually, though, that's interesting because, like, I have a Savage Kodiak that is currently my theoretical mud feet. A Generalist, what's it?
Is it only me that's
Solid.
having issues with Brian's audio?
No, Brian just dropped completely. There he goes.
What?
Yeah, we're having.
Okay, I didn't see any connection interruption, and I didn't. Like,
No, you
see
didn't
that
drop
face feed.
completely. It was just your audio got really messed up for a bit.
Oh,
Okay. Well, if it's better now, good. If it's not, I'll refresh or something. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now,
We didn't hear what you said.
Savage Kodiak, good,
Yes.
good flagship for this potential thing. If they don't come out with like a flagship specifically for it, you can use that.
I have a feeling that might get countered with something. I don't see them letting us have something that'll, boost us that much for
Not true. Would be
yeah,
nice.
for the reload
Can
and stuff.
you make
and-
drones have priority targeting? I just imagine like a drone zooming around and just snapping away at the Savage.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how they would do that.
I
Because
would
also
bet.
it's defense.
I mean, I'm sure they
Yeah.
if they wanted to, they could easily do it.
I would bet that the flagship that they come out is going to be similar to the Savage Kodiak. I mean, it's the only thing that makes real sense.
I mean,
You don't really need any more speed. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to put on the flagship that you're going to want to absolutely have?
or they could make it like a Savage,
Because-
but like instead of pen resist, you make it corrosive resist.
Ooh,
Because you can get your pen resist up really high. See also this raid cycle.
So
But
that's sort of like
corrosiveness.
Zoe's Apollo, right? Yeah.
Wasn't Zoe's both? Do I just not know what a Zoe's does? Maybe.
Yeah, it's both. But yeah, I'm assuming that something whatever's going to come out should probably have some similarities to the Zoe's Apollo.
I could see that. I could see that. But I'm actually, honestly, I'm looking more forward to next month's raid than I am to finishing this one.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Same here. I played yesterday for 4 hours and haven't even played today yet. I probably will tonight a little bit, but it's taking a little time off from that in between.
How are you doing
just
on your
like the
target
whole-
for after you said you were tearing. Weren't you telling me you were tearing stuff up with the icebreakers and the 100s?
Yeah. Yeah, it was
still
working.
working?
It was working considerably better, earlier yesterday, and then I don't know, probably 5 o'clock or so. It seemed like the 100s got a lot harder, and it was like 2 coin more.
But there was no
And
Labatt's
some-
Blue or Zima involved with that 5 o'clock, correct?
No, there's no Zima involved. No, definitely more damage. No difference in driving.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I think I got like 137 mil, 4 hours. So not too bad.
Okay.
I just did 100s just repeatedly with grease monkeys, and it was working out pretty good. It was
Okay.
like 5 coins per, so a little under 1 coin per mil.
Are you fully repaired?
I am right now.
Okay. I mean, because I know there was some people were asking in chat, maybe before you got on, or no, I think you were on. This Suit Me was asking me what to, what he could use his icebreakers for. Any chance you want to run through one on live? Or no?
Maybe the after show. If my computer crashes, that's not too good.
Okay. I was just checking.
I hate to have 2 things going.
Okay.
But I will definitely post a video. That way, if I screw up, I can redo it.
Yeah. Do it 10 times and show us the best. Everybody loves that.
But yes, I will post a video.
Okay. That's cool. And you have 4 of them in a Harlock?
Versago, yeah.
Visago, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. 1 charge armor on each, 6 Vs, 2 S's, and 2 of them with countermeasures. 1 countermeasure of each.
Wait, okay, I got you now. I was thinking 2 ships at first. So, there you go. Video would be great.
Yeah. It's too bad I didn't get a video up before they buffed them. But
Yeah, how much damage did you say you were taking before?
before it was like 4 coins. Now it's like between 5 and 6 from the buff. I don't know where the
So
extra
it's about-
damage came.
So it's about $1 million per.
And that's with the grease monkey. So obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's about a gold for each 500,000 without the grease monkey.
Yeah, it would be without the grease monkeys. Yes.
Okay.
At least for me. Like I said, I only have 1 of each charged armor on each of them. Probably 2 of each would be better, but it just kind of seems like a waste. Trying to save them up for the new Phoenix there. I got 2 of those out. Just shells. Kind of don't like the build on them, the 5-day plus with the 1 missile on it. But trying to get them out for VXP weekend. I would love to get out a new Justice 2 for VXP weekend, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I wish there was more tokens this raid. Don't we all?
Tokens.
Tokens.
Like see a few tokens added, yes.
Yeah, like 10 more 1 day, something like that. I
So
would love to have 4 out, but I don't see that happening.
there are some typical tinfoil, I don't know, just general doom predictors that make me chuckle that think that there's going to be, just before VXP weekend, there's going to be just infinite Phoenix build token offers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which really isn't that different from how they're doing it now, but it's a little more insidious when you intentionally shortchange the players, making it impossible to get out 4 blanks for VXP without coining.
Without coining.
Yeah, and then some of them are only like about 12%. 12% off. We've seen on some of them.
Yeah.
12% off still doesn't get into a realm I feel where a lot of people are comfortable buying them.
Yeah, but we saw that. I forget which one. Was it the Cannoneers at one point? There's been some where at times it was a very minimal discount to buy those.
Well, there was one that came out for the Cannoneer. Actually, no, that was the Millennium, wasn't it? It was like the free Millennium if you bought the coins or something like that. That's essentially what it came out to be.
Yeah, $10 deal.
Yeah.
The $90 deal, you got 500 gold though, and all the shit.
I missed that one. I always missed the good
That was
one.
the deal. Yeah. You had to get that.
The deal's so
was-
good. It
That's
was
the only time I've coined in the last 3 years.
Mhm.
That's the deal.
Yeah. A deal so good it lasted what, 3 hours?
Oh yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like if you give people more value for their money, they'll spend more money. What?
No way.
Yeah.
No,
That makes sense.
Yeah. So anything else?
No comment.
Else you think we ought to add this evening before we or?
Salty.
Salt packet.
What? That's not salt. Guys, that's
Yeah, I was a little.
That's Coke. He's gonna stay up all night
That's Coke.
grounding ASATs, and that's what he's got.
Yeah, with that.
he's gonna be doing lines after.
Yeah. Well, I was a little disappointed to see not see a generalist in this raid.
You don't
Well, we
want
don't
the
know-
future where that
yeah.
exists. You don't
Not
want
that I
that
would use it. I was just disappointed that it wasn't in there for a lot of people that were looking forward to it.
Yeah.
They were
Unless
looking
they're gonna
forward
make
to
them
another
more like-
generalist hole.
Maybe they're
Yeah.
gonna make them more generalist.
I'd
Yeah.
like to cut it down
Yeah.
to just
Tools and whatnot in order to make them, not have another. Because a lot of people were up at arms. Oh, we have a generalist, and everybody thought, oh, okay, in another 6 months they'll offer another one.
Hmm.
Not in the next month they're going to offer another one.
Yeah.
Because a generalist
Yeah,
is
it's not so much a generalist.
Here's- yeah,
a
but
Swiss
here-
Army knife, and you don't need up 2 Swiss Army knives or 3 Swiss Army knives.
and
What
they
happens?
performed better than they were supposed to this time too. So you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I'd rather not see 3 versions. I'd rather just give us 1 or 2 versions, and there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, a simple flag. I think a simple flag would be perfect. Just have
Well-
that or a
They need to make it so it can shoot missiles.
yeah. Well,
Or
yeah,
sorry, remote
can already
target or
shoot-
something.
penetrative,
No,
corrosive.
I don't think
or
they
a-
need that at all.
Yeah, I don't like the whole generalist idea.
No,
I
neither.
like
No,
the
I mean-
way I like the original idea, but that's not what we're seeing. So
Yeah, now like the build times for the Empyreans are comparable with other ships in the class, and that wasn't like I'm sorry, I mean the weapon and special build times and things like that. Like they were supposed to be you put your stuff on and you spend more upfront in the build, but you swap on an awful lot
Mhm.
quicker. And
Yeah.
now it's just like every other kind of hull.
Yeah,
And you got to remember with the heavy mortar at 3 to 4 days apiece.
But that you were getting a god tier mortar and a special. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth 3 days, but it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fantastic weapon as I understand it. And I could see spending 3 days for that if it's that damn good.
And it offers a lot of defenses, as I recall, that might carry over to another. Even if mortars don't work, the defenses might carry over a bit.
does it
I mean, now there's
does it actually
there's the
give you
pen
armor
defense,
points? Or no?
I forget what it does. I don't.
I don't remember.
I'm
Okay.
not the most guy.
It gives you pen defense
Yeah,
and explosive defense. Like it gives you 50% of each of those defenses. It's
And it gives
basically
you deflections.
oh, that's right.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
basically an MX3
And
with
they
your
stack.
mortar. There's only
Yeah,
one
so-
heavy weapon slot.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, you can stack it with a weapons with an armor special.
Yes.
So yeah, it could still be. Would
Nice.
still usually have some use if there's something on the weapons side to let it carry through. This suit me says he needs to stop prides, and I think I don't know if you've been hit by prides since the update. In the update they did a lot of things to mitigate corrosive damage.
If you have a
which may-
chromium overlay,
Yeah.
you might want to put that on a few things. It actually works the way it should have worked the entire time now.
Yeah, because the chromium overlay works for it's working for buildings in addition to walls. So it should slow down the prides quite a bit if you do own it. And also the changes to the splash dispersion also should help you out quite a bit against prides. That's why they had to release the Saga's Pride in order to try to make them still viable while they were trying to kick the muddle gluts in the glut.
But they didn't kick them in the glut. They made everything else really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then there's the other question by David on how to build the Justice. Anybody put any much thought into that yet?
I'm going to countermeasure.
Countermeasures and Calamity Scatter Guns.
I'm going to replace my Gamma with it because that Gamma dies instantly anymore if anything even sneezes on it. But it does help out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll be trying the cannons out on mine. I might throw a few countermeasures on it. Pretty much going to go mostly cannons.
I'm not worrying about mine for another probably month.
Yeah. Get the Phoenix done first.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'd like to get 4 of those out before I start building anything else myself. Just shells, just so I can get the XP on them.
My repair button works just fine. I got hit this morning, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Wow. Already. Jeez. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be deceived on Monday when they all get hit and it's during the raid. But hey, everybody needs their alliance points to actually do good in the, a little bit better in the raid. You get the extra reload and turn speed and stuff.
Hey, George, was it Ewok?
No, it was not Ewok.
So how is everybody else doing in the raid?
I think as much as we're willing to put effort forward, I think everybody's doing well. They find it a little bit on the grindy side.
Yeah.
And
I like to play.
And they're finding a few bugs in the S target. And Daniel was doing a little run through on the S target live on the show.
Yeah.
And that I don't know if you saw that, the whole gauntlet part that was actually shrouded didn't show a shroud.
Yeah, no, I saw that many times yesterday. No shrouds on anything you come in, but it still doesn't. You can't kill it. You just drive by it. There's just no shroud.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got disconnected. My whole internet just went off. So that's why I just vanished.
So all that lag in the game, we can blame Daniel.
Yep.
Yep. But I guess David's still asking as far as if you're going to put an offensive weapon on, does the penance seem to make sense because he's thinking ruins. And I know people weren't even happy with the ruins on
alphas.
Do you perhaps mean the rays? The ship-based one? The ship-based scattergun?
I'm not.
The ruin scattergun is meant for buildings, I think.
I wasn't too happy with the cannon.
No.
It was
because
not.
It's a splash weapon.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What's going to be coming into the base to hit you, right? And then what's going to be running right by him?
Yeah. Exactly.
Isn't the lust next?
Prides.
Yeah.
Run right by. Yeah, that's the only problem with the dead fire.
I mean, you could,
but
if you had lockdown rockets, like some people don't apparently.
I think it was a one-time thing, wasn't it, George?
I have no idea. I don't even know how I got half the tech that I got. I really don't.
It came out with the Gore Saber.
Now with the Thorns, will once the prides start hitting them, will they be able to get damage from the Thorns ability?
Yes.
Oh, well,
I gotta go back and re-look up Thorns.
Yes, but the thing is Thorns is on a timer too, right? So if you really want to mess with someone, you can time it and hit it with like any sort of missile or rocket, you know what I mean, before you run into the channel. That way Thorns will time out. It'll be in the cooldown part. You can drive by it while you're hitting it, and then be out of its range and, you know, not getting any Thorn damage. I mean, there's ways to manipulate that mechanic, or that you know, I mean, I've thought of a couple of them that can manipulate that mechanic already. You know, it's going to get interesting when you get more than one Justice in the fleet, and then really interesting if you kill something else in the guard fleet, because then those numbers kind of start changing, and it gets interesting. But yeah, Thorns will run for 10 seconds from the first time it gets damaged, and then there's a 15-second cooldown, which is enough to run by it.
Is there a cooldown on that Berserk, or a duration?
Is there
or
what?
Whenever a ship dies?
Yeah, it's 20 seconds.
Okay, never mind then.
I'll answer anybody else's questions but Nines, because Nines obviously didn't read my article. Dick.
It's weird because we've had so many differing explanations of Thorns. Like, there was a post by Doom Rooster late down in the event briefing that's like, oh, it's not a specific type, it just gets bounced back and this and that. And I saw the article you had up that day, and it's like, wait, what? I became confused.
The article and Doom's new post kind of happened concurrently. We were actually talking to the same engineer and going back and forth with some of the information, because what was showing up in the game early, like if you went to the shipyard and looked at the post, it wasn't quite matching up, and like I started asking a couple of questions, and they found his stuff had come from the first iteration of the Justice, and they hadn't sent him the newest stuff. So then when he wrote that, he was basing it off the first one. And then he and I started talking and we got one of the engineers and went through like the whole bloody thing. So yeah, the article and his newest post should match everything. Now.
Right.
But, yeah. The guy that actually designed it, I believe, double checked the article, because I got a couple of emails going, hey, you got to fix something. Hey, you screwed up, go fix it. And I was like, So, you know. So yeah, it starts from when it first gets damaged. It starts for 10 seconds. You can't. It'll do. Okay, so let me see if I can remember this right. It'll start from the minute that it gets damaged. Anything that damages it, including splash, even if you're on the edge of splash, doesn't matter if it takes a 0.5 point of damage or 3,000 points of damage. For every instance of damage that is done to the Justice, it will do 25 to the hull that caused the damage. There's no mitigating that damage. There's deflection doesn't work. Nothing works. So you know, while it says ballistic, it really doesn't matter. You can consider it
plasma.
You can consider it as you can consider it plasma. You can consider it as no type of actual damage, because it's you cannot mitigate it in any way. At the end of the 10 seconds, it goes into the cooldown for 15, I think, and then it won't activate again until it gets damaged again. If you pinch it or it gets stunned from something, anything that happens, it'll pause. I think the way he described it was that it actually pauses the timer. So it's not like you can go and start, if you get hit and 5 seconds into your Thorns, you get pinched, you don't lose that other 5 seconds. It'll actually continue after the pinch wears off. So that's an interesting little tweak.
And then they have that anti-Rocketeer 4 in there this time too. That would be helpful for pinch rockets.
Well, and then if it goes into Berserk, like Nines asked, it's 300% damage, so it's like 100 for each time it gets damaged. So if you're going with like scatterguns against this thing, or mudgluts are going to get hurt bad, because you figure for each missile it mervs, and each merv is going to do damage, and each one of those is going to get damage back to the gluttony. So
Mhm.
yeah, you got it. That's one where you might want to pinch it or hit it with like a small daisy cutter or something first, and then hit it while it's in the cooldown, because otherwise you're gonna get whacked with damage. You're gonna be eating a lot of damage.
I was thinking narrowing the spread and reducing the splash on a mud glut and using it to like pinpoint out ships. Wonder if that might work.
How what?
Basically, removing all the splash specials off mud gluts and reducing the spread on it as much as possible, and seeing if we, rather than say using a shotgun to hit everything, use a rifle. If you get my expression.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, still gonna get the damage put back.
Yeah, you're gonna hit it. You're still gonna hit it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest problem with the gluttonies. That's what all these changes were to mitigate that splash, because the thing's just outrageous on splash and spread. I mean, I don't know that you can get it down enough to do that. I mean, you got a better chance of doing that with mortars than you do with the muddle missile.
Yeah.
Much better chance of doing that with mortars than the muddle missile.
I stepped away for a second. Did you explain, George, you put an article together yesterday on the Justice?
It was just about the Thorns.
Yeah. My question was, you had a little screen capture that showed the 25 ballistics thorn damage. I didn't see that in the shipyard or where. And it was 50 in the preview server. Where did you?
I got that out of the shipyard.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go. I investigated my shipyard. Maybe they don't tell me that in mine.
It's that top part. You're talking about the first picture. That was in the under attack. It wasn't in the special effects. I mean, special.
Yeah. And that's where it was originally in the preview server. Let me reload Let me get back in the game.
I see it right now. Attack ballistic thorns 25.
Okay, all right.
Right in the shipyard, right where it should be.
Okay, all righty. Okay, so they have that from the preview server. I just didn't find it when I looked, when I first saw it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I need to refresh my game or something. I don't know if it was, because it wasn't out originally, because we were really confused when we looked at the blueprint on Wednesday. So I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, no, I actually pulled it that day when I wrote that article, because there was so much going on between all the the preview servers and then the in-game, and then what was going on in the forums, and then when I started asking a couple questions, that's when I think they realized that they had miscommunicated a little bit, and hell, if I got the information, I might as well share it. So I wrote the article. I mean,
no. I was just curious where it came from, because well,
it's
good. It's
great that
the information's out. I just didn't, because after I read your article, I was like, oh man, I had searched and searched before, and then okay, now I see it under this view of it. Maybe it was another view of it that it doesn't show up. I'm not sure how I see it now. I see it just pops out, but before I was looking at it and I couldn't find it. So maybe I hadn't refreshed the game and I saw it right after.
I'm trying to remember if I went into the shipyard or if I went into the intelligence lab to see it. I think I went into the shipyard. I can't remember, but I mean, when I saw it,
you didn't own it at that point, so it wouldn't have.
No, I didn't own it at that time, and I think the thing was when I first saw it, I think the original post by Doom had referenced there was no damage type, which, technically it doesn't really matter what damage type they assign to it, because you can't do anything against it. So you can think of it as no damage type, but it wasn't some of the stuff they weren't reflecting back to each other as accurate. And that's when I started, sending a couple emails and going, hey, I'm confused, I have some questions.
Yeah, because the fact that it does say ballistic does make you think that there's a counter to it.
Yeah, there's none.
Or
Okay.
that it would be boosted
no.
by things that boost ballistic damage.
And no, yeah, that's the other thing. It's not. You can't boost the damage with anything else. It's Thorns
Yeah.
damage.
They should just call it plasma thorns, and everybody will.
Yeah, or
the
just
ballistic thorn.
or just call it Thorn. I mean, just call it Thorn and don't assign a damage to it because I liked it when he'd first written it and said that there was no damage type. I was like, all right, cool. That way it's gonna cause less confusion. But
Yeah.
that's what ended up in game. So he had to go back and
Yeah, because I'm looking at it now. It pops right up to me. So I'm not sure what changed in the meantime. Maybe I needed a refresh or something. Maybe I read your article right after it came out, or I don't know.
So I'm skating through an 84. It's not any easier to kill. Which when you tell me the target's defenses have been drastically reduced, that makes me think it's easier to kill. And it's not. I'm still taking next to no damage, but I was doing that the entire time anyway.
It's all like
So
granite didn't kill him.
Yeah. Or it just gives them an excuse to bump up the damage after 48 hours.
You're gonna make me take
So
the
what?
tinfoil hat out now.
So like 4 days into the raid, they just randomly buff off this one target. Oh, that was one of the other things.
Or go ahead, Brian. I'll say it after.
I was doing RTAs, trying to figure which is faster in real time, killing an A set or killing a bunch of 84s. And for me, I found killing 84s to be faster in terms of and the A sets.
Okay.
Strange, I found.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, with how the raid's going, if they lowered the defense of the buildings but kept the attack power the same. Bumped it up.
But the defense isn't lowered. Yeah, minute 6, no.
No, but why did you say that, Nines?
I was just saying I wouldn't be surprised if they lowered the actual defense of the buildings, because we're mostly one-shotting the buildings as it is, besides the turrets. And
then why would they do that? No, I'm just confused why you think why you wouldn't be surprised.
Well, everything else has pretty much got a damage increase at the moment.
Okay. Alrighty.
For me, I haven't seen increased damage on the buildings as far as killing them. I've just seen increased output on the damage on my fleets. That's just me though.
You're seeing
seems like they're hitting harder. Put it that way.
Yeah, try to shift your defenses towards missile if you can. If you're running monos, if you're running icebreakers.
Load up on Charge Dama.
And I got both, and I'm saving my models for when I actually run out of coin. So is that for last for Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, this suits me as asking another question that we talked about on Wednesday, and I think you were off for that part, George. What is confusing is the 75% cloak cap and base. Will higher cloak on subs help or not?
No.
It's a hard cap.
Yeah.
If you are over 70.
Except for Laredo has said otherwise on the floor.
So here's the thing. Right now, the way that the code is working, if you're at 100 cloak or less, it's a hard cap of 75%. When you go over 100% cloak, for some reason, something funky happens, and your cloak is higher than 75 when you go into a base. However, before anybody decides to go and refit anything, Kixeye is also very aware of this issue and is actually working on it, because I was talking to one of the guys last night, and there was a lot of testing done last night on this, because when Laredo posted that, I was like, that's just no, because that's not how it works. That's not how the mechanic was. I mean, I had I had just finished Reapers when that happened, and I was pissed. And that was like, that's probably one of the first mechanics that I actually learned about, and to figure out what the hell was going on. And when that got posted, I was like, no, fuck, that's bullshit, dude. That's not how it works. And then a couple of people tested it in bases, and they found that up until you get to 100 cloak, it's a max cap of 75. That's how it works. But then when you went over, particularly when you got really high, like 120, 130 and up, and I think one of them that they tested was 150 cloak.
Wow.
Funky stuff happened.
Yeah. How do they do that? Like with
really funky stuff happened.
D2S swag.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not sure. But so that got sent over to Kickstarter right away. I mean, that's just right away. And
you wouldn't think you'd be able to go over 100. 100%. 100%.
Go back
in the past.
The Ghost Boss has got like 300 armor slots.
Yeah, the problem is back in the day when they first coded this, the highest cloak you could get was on the Reaper, and it was like, what was it, 97.9 or some crap?
Yeah, 98.
Some weird shit. And I think that's what they coded it around that, I think. Because that's the thing that was causing the problems. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it hasn't been an issue until we got the UTT transformer again. So no one's ever looked at it for like 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years? 2 years. It's been 2 years. So no one's looked at it for 2 years, and oops, we found something. So yeah, don't go refitting crap because it's gonna get fixed. I'm just saying that right now.
No, I don't think too many people are actually worried about refitting subs right now. They're probably more worried about
point and refit your Ghost to all D5S.
Hey George.
Yeah.
If you had $1 for everything every broken thing you found in the last week, do you know how many dollars you would have?
You'd be able to blitz the raid.
I don't know. Yeah.
You just retire? Like what?
I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff, but some of the stuff isn't
for the 84, and it's 5 coins for the blitz.
Some of the stuff isn't stuff that I've broken.
You can do a 100 for the same.
Yeah, some of the stuff isn't stuff that I've broken or found. It's stuff that people have told me, and I've looked into it. I mean, there are some stuff that I have broken. I'll admit, and some of the stuff I'm very proud of, like the Zealous. I'm thrilled about that build. It really depresses me when I look at my gridiron, though.
Yeah, same here. That's why I haven't been using it.
R3 fresh gridiron just came out. No, my gridiron will be my backup tank. It's okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm using it for. But the Zealous, I'm thrilled with that build. I mean, but I knew it was going to work after they changed the arc missile after more of it. So they kind of gave that away.
Yeah, but the thing is, how can it be a backup tank if the Zealous never hardly dies?
Because
maybe the Zealous dies to lag. Maybe the Zealous dies to Phantom Mortars. Maybe the Zealous dies to a rocket turret that's dead.
Or maybe it's at half health because I've hit like 6 friggin' hundreds and I want to park it and repair it so my charge driver gets more stuff.
Once it's dead, and if you have another...
I mean, dude, it's a backup tank. I use it as a fucking backup.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't spend 40 million points in a month's worth of build time, and then a few refits.
20 million? I can use 20 million.
No, I said 40.
200. How much was it? It was more than that.
The Gridiron's monolith was 40 million the first time it came out.
Okay.
Did you have to get it in?
Nines, I'm curious, man. Are you multitasking? Because you've been real bad tonight, man.
I'm driving 100s at the moment.
So you're multitasking. Okay. Yeah, that's
yeah, that's bad. That's almost worse than drinking and driving.
No,
come on.
This does not lead to actual death.
That's like driving on a cell phone.
And I honestly am going to take a poke at gridirons every chance I get.
Yeah. No, I can't do it. I got to concentrate when I'm doing those.
And how are the Empyreans doing in this stuff? Because I remember the first couple raids, you couldn't shut up the Empyrean people, but I haven't heard them as much recently.
Talk to Ren.
Dorn just fine.
Just does fine, but okay. All right.
No, I'm saying doing just fine. A sets are still instant repair. I'm using Bullseye Crew because honestly, the arcs occasionally splash out my Empyreans. But
Oh yeah, I remember we talked about that. Yeah. They don't work because you have to use bullseye.
What the
crews.
hell?
Yeah. If you're using bullseye crew, you're cheating big time because you can't win them anymore.
if I remember what Ren said, use every exploit possible.
No, but I'm saying it's not sustainable. You know.
Oh, I don't care. I've been holding on to these 6 bullseyes for a while.
Bullseye Brigade isn't an exploit.
It's not an exploit. It's just not sustainable. You can't continue to use
that's not an exploit.
Can't depend.
Duality countermeasure, on the other hand, now that one might count as one.
You should see it go off.
If
I wasn't freeze framing every time I shared, I would happily show what duality does to the rhinos in the 100 the second it opens up with those missiles. You hardly see the Phalanx 4s go off.
Yeah.
I got 2 of them crews. I'll have to try one just to see.
And are you talking about the version by the Jay Giles band or a different freeze?
Hey, I like Jay Giles band. Remember that song "Piss on the Wall"?
I remember. Is this
White Wedding?
No, White Wedding's Billy Idol.
Yeah, that's Billy Idol.
No, Playboy's Centerfold, or what was that one?
I don't know. They had "Piss on the Wall."
Nobody knows that one. What was that one?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sing it. We'll leave that up to. Hey, Nines, could you sing that for us?
You don't want to hear me sing.
No.
We don't want to hear you talk either, but we listen to you. Come on now.
Yeah, my Angel's a centerfold.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, my Angel's a centerfold.
Yeah, that was on the same album. Yep.
Yeah. Nines?
That was a pretty good album.
I'm
I
good.
still have that tape somewhere laying around.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a tape player, but I have that tape.
Okay.
I remember having a tape collection.
I just have a
George, you remember when a nickel would buy you anything?
Oh,
my nickel. Hey, a nickel will still buy your mom.
George's tape collection is 8-track.
I'm sure.
I still thought it was 17.
He isn't so old that it's reel to reel, but yeah, they're 8 tracks.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
But yeah. Angel's a centerfold. Are you gonna sing that for us, Nines?
Nah.
Okay.
That's after.
Starts out with the camera.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I think
chit.
Yeah. We can. Yeah. I will. Right now, I'm gonna find the lyrics for that. So if anybody wants to join us in the after show, Nines can.
And we can all listen to you playing Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great old time. Come on.
Yeah. Because
I'll be hunting crickets and.
Yeah. He's gonna be hunting crickets with a 12 gauge. So
I can do that.
Yeah. It'll be lots of fun. Yeah, and there's some Jethro Tull references, but yeah. Yeah. I had Jethro Tull on the CD. I wasn't old enough to have him on an 8-track.
Hey, you got to break up the monotony of the raid. Switch it up for 5 minutes. Take a little break.
Yeah.
Have a little happy hour, a little laugh.
Yeah. So I'm looking for the lyrics. So during the after show,
it's gonna be karaoke.
Yeah, no, he's gonna do it a cappella. It'll be fascinating for anybody that wants to join us.
Yeah. On that note, I'm going to have dinner then. Y'all have.
No, you can't miss this, George.
I most certainly can miss this.
Does she walk? Does she talk? Does she come complete? My own angels always pull me from my seat. She was pure like snowflakes.
Poetry reading of Jay Giles now? Seriously?
No, that's gonna be Nines. Nines gonna be singing it.
Oh.
Hey, you already started. You got to finish.
No. I was just making sure it was correct for for
Hi,
when you
Okay,
Mary.
who in chat wants to hear
Mary.
Hefe sing?
I would rather find some Rumi poetry and recite that for crying out loud.
There's
Anyway.
a new person. That's an adequate distraction. Hello, Mary. Oh, Mary's mic isn't working.
Mary's
Crap.
mic isn't working.
I tried,
He doesn't
guys.
Save the day. He didn't save the day. Anyway, I actually do have to bounce, so I will catch you guys later. Have a good evening, everybody.
We'll see you.
Okay.
George.
All right.
Good luck, man.
Later, George.
Good night.
And does anybody else have anything to add before we go to the live show of Nine singing "My Angel Is a Centerfold"?
Well, good luck to everybody in the raid. Get her done. Get what you need.
I really wish that Kixeye would have been able to have a consistent set of raid targets the third time around out of 3. Not even by the last raid in the cycle have they actually got this hammered out.
Mhm.
You have failed.
And that's
Yeah.
science for the day.
No, science is me getting like a spreadsheet and explaining to them why they failed.
Okay.
They know why they failed.
Okay.
That was the start of the show.
So, alrighty, folks. Join us for the after show if you like. I've just posted the link, and hope you all have a great raid. And see you on Wednesday. And I think the raid will just be finishing up. So have fun, y'all.